censorship. Some of the things that I've seen on other channels that you're not allowed to see, right? Some of the information and some of the stuff to do with control and to do with agendas and stuff like that, right? I mean, that's why they invented the word conspiracy theory, because everything to control human beings, right, is usually done through shame, and that comes a lot from wordplay, right? So they have a lot of words, a lot of buzzwords, you know, and kind of like one of the new ones they have now is hate, right? So they're attaching that to speech. So we're going to control what you say and what you can't say, and we're going to call it hate speech, right? Hate speech is interesting when you really just break it down. Hate and speech, right? We have hate, right? So it has to be a natural component somewhere, right? We have it, right? You know, there's wrong hate and then there's incorrect hate, the same as everything else, right? It can go the wrong way. But the fact that they use the word hate is what I find fascinating, because everyone has it and everyone pretty much is embarrassed by it, and they want to try and put on the mask of, I don't hate anyone, you know, as if the sticky love that women and men have towards their children is not pure hatred. Of course it is. All right. So the fact that they use that, you see, they're masters of psychology. The last thing they want is for us to be masters of our own time, right? They want our time to be on their clock, right? So some of the things, like I said, I've seen on other channels is fascinating. That's why they're trying to clamp down. That's why my channel was banned there for a whole week last Saturday, right? So I'll probably put this up tomorrow. This is Friday now. So it was banned for something ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. It was just my viewpoint in certain areas to do with men having underage sex with women, right? And I'm not saying that I'm for that. I'm not. But you'd have to watch the thing that was banned to hear some of the things that maybe they might have took offense by, all right, in the legal system, right? So, and it was done in a humorous kind of way. I won't go into it because it's not really that interesting, really. It's uninteresting, but the video was taken down and I got a week strike from YouTube, right? And if you look into YouTube, there's a group of people that own that too, right? So they're clamping down on free expression. It's a war on free thought. Forget about all this nonsense about, them being nice and, we don't want hate anywhere and we don't want any of this. These people are brimming to capacity of real hatred, right? And they have the power and the means and the censorship to try and block anyone that tries to point out their hatred and what they're doing, right? So buzzwords, and you can even hear it now in this Iraq Hamas war, whatever nonsense they're putting up in the news. I don't know what's real and what isn't, right? All I know is what I see, all right? So just say this, for instance, right? All right, Israel is committing genocide on Hamas, or Hamas done terrible, so-called, so they say, attacks. They broke into Israel through the war. I don't know how they done that. And then they killed 1,200 people or something like that, right? I don't know if any of these things are real. One thing I do know it's real is a certain group of people are bringing tribes of people from Africa and other places into Europe, and that's ethnic cleansing, by the way. That I can physically see with my own eyes. I can see that. The other stuff, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on anywhere, and I certainly don't listen to the news about anything. I'd be skeptical about everything, right? So buzzwords is what keeps us away from questioning things, and shame and all that kind of stuff is what they use. So many tricks, mind games and tricks to try and get you to have something to lose, right? Right, and kind of like, and then blackmailing people and kind of like, and all that kind of stuff, right? So kind of like the buzzwords are interesting, and and you listen to them and you go like, what are these people? After a while, right, you look at all of it and you go, I know why you're doing all these things. All right, and just say in Ireland now they're bringing in hate speech, They're bringing in so they can come to your door if you, from their perspective, if you investigate something that you're not supposed to, and we're going to call it hatred, even if it's true, which it is, and we can come to your door and say, show us your device, and we want to see if there's any hateful material on it, and we can take it and break into your house and take it, because we're the masters of the universe and you're just a peon. We can do whatever we want. We can control you. We can do whatever we want. We can use buzzwords, and if the buzzwords don't work, we can send the police to your door and scare you and maybe put you in prison again for absolutely nothing. Maybe we can do that. All right? There will come a time, and it's happening everywhere, right, when the truth is uncovered, and a lot of people are so brainwashed by the TV, that box in the corner of your room, so brainwashed by that, the mainstream nonsense that goes through it. How do you know that the stuff on the news on that TV is not faked? They can do anything they want nowadays, and you believe everything on that silly little box. But they're brainwashing everyone. They don't want people to look in a certain area, right? And they don't want people to uncover their lies. That's why they use, conspiracy theory, and hate, and kind of human shields. Another one. You can just see these buzzwords coming out all the way to try and bypass your logic, right? Bypass you investigating yourself and having a very critical mind, especially when it comes to the media. You see all them people a few years ago doing all their nonsense and complying with all of it, and I nearly got in a couple of fights with people because I pointed out that it was all nonsense, and they were there ready to defend their corporate masters because they didn't want to take the time to even look at a couple of things and go and be skeptical and go, oh yeah, there's something not right about all this. Who's benefiting from all this? It ain't us, right? Yeah, it's too hard for most people to do that. All right, so buzzwords are interesting, man. They're interesting buzzwords, and they don't use them for nothing. And to do with maybe one small comment I made about that YouTube video that was taken down and I got a strike for, if they're going to arrest people all the time for hanging around with people that are underage or whatever, right? 15, 14, whatever. And some of them are predators, and they should be found out because they're terrible, right? But there's grey area with it, is what I pointed out in one of the videos. So I would like to know why Elvis Presley wasn't arrested. Because he was going out with Priscilla Presley when she was like 14 or something, wasn't he? And he was in his 20s or something. Maybe his early 30s. I don't know. I have to look into it. But I know that she was very, very young. Alright, so the bottom line with all this stuff is that there's grey area, and they don't want you to look into the grey area. And the fact that they created the legal system, which is a crime against us, they don't want us pointing that out either. Right? And the very fact that when the police arrest you, like they arrested me and put me in prison, took me away from my daughter, put me in jeopardy, put my daughter in jeopardy, they make money from when they arrest people. So it's an investment for them. They make money. The more people they put in their prisons, right, the more money they get. So they're looking for people. They're looking for crimes. That's why when the police come to you for something silly, they start saying, oh, can I look in here and can I look there? And they try and use trickery with words. They try and get you to give up your rights and all the rest of it. They're agents of the mafia, so kind of like they want you in prison because it's built around the monetary system, the legal system and their monetary system, right? So it's not about what you've done wrong, even if sometimes you have done something wrong, right? But they want you in prison. They want to take you down. They want to have something to do, right? I yield.